The city bustled with a symphony of sounds, a place where stories unfolded on every corner, yet most went unnoticed. On one such corner sat a man named Thomas, a silent observer of life's parade, his world confined to a few square feet of pavement. He was a man made invisible by circumstance, a ghost in the machine of urban life. Little did he know, his quiet existence was about to intersect with a moment of pure chaos and desperation, changing not just one life, but many. Across the street, a bridal shop hummed with excitement. Inside, a young woman named Amelia twirled in front of a mirror, her reflection beaming back at her. The dress was perfect, a cascade of ivory lace and delicate beading, the embodiment of a lifelong dream. It was more than just fabric. It was a promise, a symbol of the future she was about to build with her fiancé, Liam. Her heart swelled with a joy so pure it felt like it could light up the entire city. She carefully packed the gown into its protective bag, her mind already drifting to the moment she would walk down the aisle. As Amelia stepped out of the shop, her hands full with the dress, her phone, and her purse, the city's chaos struck. A cyclist, swerving to avoid a taxi, collided with a pedestrian, setting off a chain reaction. A startled dog leaped, its leash wrapping around Amelia's ankles. She stumbled, her world tilting, and the precious dress bag flew from her grasp, landing directly in the path of a large, muddy puddle splashed by a passing bus. A gasp escaped her lips, a sound of pure horror. Her perfect day, her perfect dress, was seemingly ruined in an instant. Tears welled in Amelia's eyes as she stared at the sullied garment bag. It was a disaster. The wedding was just 2 days away. From his corner, Thomas saw the whole thing. He saw the bride's dress slip, he saw the splash, and most importantly, he saw the despair crumple her face. Without a second thought, he pushed himself up. His movements were stiff from the cold, but his purpose was clear. He rushed to the puddle, his worn-out jacket becoming a shield as he lifted the heavy bag from the grimy water, cradling it as if it were a fragile treasure. Amelia looked up, her vision blurred by tears, to see a man with a weathered face and kind eyes holding her dress. He was homeless, that much was clear, but his concern was genuine. "It's heavy," he said, his voice raspy but gentle. "Let's see the damage." Together, they unzipped the bag. Miraculously, the thick plastic had protected most of the gown, but the hem was soaked and stained with muddy water. Amelia's heart sank again. Thomas, however, saw a solution, not a disaster. "I know a place," he offered. "An old laundromat, the owner's a friend. He has special machines. I can take it." Amelia was hesitant. Trust a stranger, a homeless man, with the most important dress of her life? It was a huge risk. But looking into his eyes, she saw not a threat, but a sincerity that cut through her panic. It was a flicker of hope in a moment of utter despair. Taking a leap of faith, she agreed. Thomas gave her a reassuring nod and, with the dress carefully in his arms, he disappeared into the city's maze of streets, leaving Amelia with nothing but a stranger's promise and a prayer. The next 24 hours were agonizing for Amelia. Doubt crept in. Had she made a terrible mistake? She explained the situation to Liam, who, despite his own worries, supported her decision to trust the man. He reminded her that kindness could be found in the most unexpected places. They held on to that fragile hope together, their pre-wedding jitters now replaced by a much deeper anxiety. They could only wait and trust in the goodness of a stranger. The following day, as Amelia's hope began to fade, her phone rang. It was an unknown number. She answered, her heart pounding. It was Thomas. "Your dress," he said calmly. "It's ready." He gave her the address of the laundromat. Rushing over, Amelia found Thomas waiting outside. He let her in, where the owner, a kind-faced elderly man, presented her with the gown. It was pristine. The stain was completely gone. The fabric looked as if it had never been touched by a single drop of mud. It was perfect. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Amelia tried to pay Thomas, but he gently refused the money. "Seeing you happy," he said with a small smile, "that's payment enough." In that moment, Amelia didn't just see a homeless man. She saw a guardian angel. An idea sparked in her mind, a way to truly thank him. "I have a better idea," she said, her eyes shining. "Will you come to our wedding, as our guest of honor?" Thomas was taken aback, speechless. No one had shown him such dignity in years. Hesitantly, he accepted. On the wedding day, a nervous but transformed Thomas arrived, dressed in a new suit provided by Liam. He was no longer an invisible man on a street corner. He was an honored guest, seated in the front row. As Amelia walked down the aisle, her dress glowing, her eyes met his. She gave him a small, grateful nod. It was a silent acknowledgement that this perfect moment was made possible by his selfless act of kindness. He had not just saved her dress. He had restored her faith in humanity. During the reception, Liam and Amelia shared the story with their guests. They spoke of how a stranger's compassion has saved their special day. They introduced Thomas, not as a homeless man, but as a hero and a friend. The room erupted in applause. A local news reporter, who was a guest at the wedding, was moved by the story and decided to cover it. The tale of Thomas's kindness quickly went viral, touching hearts across the nation. The exposure changed everything for Thomas. Job offers poured in. A local charity helped him find housing. His life, once defined by hardship and invisibility, was now filled with opportunity and community. He had a home, a job, and new friends in Amelia and Liam. It all started with a simple, selfless act. Thomas's story is a powerful reminder that kindness is a currency that never loses its value. It shows that one small gesture can create ripples of change, transforming lives and reminding us all that compassion is the thread that connects us. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more uplifting content.